It's the Flow Friday Night Sports Show, and it's time for us now to have a look at what's going on in Hume Netball. The girls should be well rested after a weekend off, and Carla from Hume Netball joins me on the line right now. How are you, Carla?
Yeah, I'm good. Thanks, Jason. How are you?
Well, thank you. Did you enjoy your weekend off last week?
I certainly did. It was a nice weekend to have at home relaxing.
Indeed. We should just mention to those listening across the network, it had nothing to do with COVID. This was a planned buy in the program for Hume Netball. That's right, isn't it, Carla?
Yep. We've been very lucky on both occasions. So, guys, yeah. So, yeah,
right.
Very timely.
All right. Let's, before we get into who's playing who this weekend, because we've got no matches to review, let's have a really close look at the ladder because it's delicately poised with 7 matches. I believe there's 7 rounds to go, isn't there?
Yep.
18 matches, and we're into round 12 coming up this week. So Osborne at the moment are undefeated. Now, that's a pretty good run because I think they're undefeated in the footy as well. So 11-0, that club's flying at the moment, top of the ladder, and probably won't be caught, you wouldn't think, Carla?
No, not at this stage, but they do have to play a couple of the other teams in second spot. So they'll be really closely watched games coming up.
Yeah, they will be. And this is where it gets really interesting because the fight for the double chance, the top 2, is on. We've got Jindera, 9-2, Billabong Crows, the reigning champs, 9-2, and Lockhart, 9-2. Now, it's only percentage separating those 3 sides. And when it comes to Lockhart and the Billabong Crows, there's less than a percentage point separating them two. So, boy, oh boy, it doesn't get much closer than that.
No, it doesn't. And those 3 teams, they'll be really looking for some high-scoring games to boost their percentages, trying to get that valuable second spot behind Osborne. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Yes, indeed. Now, the other end of the top 6, we've got How Long, who are 7 wins and 4 losses. So they are a couple of games back, almost in no man's land at the moment, How Long, because they're 2 games clear of Randwill-Bundry Waller, who probably won't catch them. They're sitting on 20 points. So How Long, I guess, they're going to try and move up the ladder as much as they can, but I guess they'd just be looking to win a few more games to lock in that final spot.
I think so, and they've also got some, clashes of other teams in the top 6. So they'll be looking to have a couple of wins extra, and Randwill-Bundry is sitting in 6th spot, so it's going to be a big game this week for those 2 clubs.
It will be a massive game for them. Just outside of the top 6, so that battle for 6th spot is on in earnest still because you've got the Murray Magpies, Holbrook and Brock Burham all tied together on 4 wins. Not a huge percentage gap between them, although there is a bit of a percentage gap between the Murray Magpies and Randwill-Bundry Wallace. So at the moment, if you're a Giants, you'd have to feel fairly confident that you'd be able to get through. But one game and a bit of percentage is not a lot when there's still 7 games to go.
No, and at this point it could go any way because all those teams are trying to get into that 6th spot to hopefully play finals. So, yeah, it's going to be very interesting.
Yep, CDHBU are in 10th spot on the ladder and still a chance. They're only 2 games and percentage out, and there is 7 games remaining, so there's still a chance for them. But really the only 2 sides you'd say are out of it at the moment are Henty with just the 1 win for the year and Colcan, who are winless through 11 games. So outside of those 2, everyone else has still got a fighting chance with 7 rounds to go.
Yep, and I'm sure they'll all be trying their best to see how they go and hopefully come away with some 4 points and change that 5th, 6th spot on the ladder. So, yeah.
Well, that sets the scene, I think, for this coming weekend. Now, the round of matches this week are pretty important, and we're going to start with CDHBU, funnily enough. They're in 10th spot on the ladder at the moment. Lockhart fighting it out for that double chance as we talked about earlier. Lockhart will be away from home, but they'll start the warmest of favourites and should win.
Yeah, I think so. And they just need to apply really full court pressure for the whole game, and they should come away with a pretty good win. They beat them fairly comfortably in the first game. So I think, they should account for CDHBU on the weekend.
Now at Holbrook, this is another team fighting it out for that 6th spot. They're just outside the top 6 at the moment, but the Billabong Crows, again, in that group with Lockhart, fighting it out for the double chance. So the Crows travel to Holbrook. They'll start favourites, should win, and should win well.
Yeah, but they'll face a pretty determined Holbrook lineup who'll be wanting to win as many games as they can to give them the best chance of playing finals. But I think the Crows, they know how to play under pressure, and they will be applying it for the full 60 minutes on the weekend against Holbrook. And I think they will take the points.
Big game for both clubs, that one. Gindera, again, in that scrap with Lockhart and the Crows, they've got a slightly easier task of the team which is winless at the moment in Cole Cairns. So they've got a chance to pad their percentage here, you'd think?
Yes, I think so, and they should account for Cole Cairns quite easily, and they'll be looking for a really big score to boost their percentage so that they can hold second spot on the ladder.
Yep.
Yeah, I think Gindera will win that one.
Yep. The Murray Magpies. Now, this game is against Henty. I believe it's going to be played at Henty, even though it might be the Murray Magpies' home game. But regardless, the Magpies are in that scrap for 6th spot on the ladder. They need a percentage booster. Henty is second to bottom, and they should win this fairly well.
Yeah, they'll be looking for a good win against Henty, the Magpies. And just depending on how many players Henty have got coming back into their side, they've had a few injuries, will depend on how much Magpies will win by. But I think Magpies will account for them.
All right. Now, a couple of games. Osborne, first of all, undefeated. They take on Brock Burham, who are 9th on the ladder, and Osborne obviously should win this comfortably.
Yeah, they had a great win last time they played BB Saints. But BB Saints will be hoping to narrow the margin when they meet on Saturday. The Saints defenders are going to have to work really hard with Rachel Kaczynski, Cara Boyd and Rebecca Livermore to minimise Osborne's shooters in Karen Hugo and Lucy Bennett, who have been on absolute fire for the last few weeks. And Osborne will be looking forward to getting back on the court after the bye, and I think they'll be too strong for the Saints.
Yep. But now the match of the round, this should be a beauty. 5th versus 6th on the ladder. How long? Taking on Roundwell Bundry Waller, and if the Giants want to assure themselves of a finals berth, this is a game they really have to win.
Yeah, Roundwell Bundry, they'll be looking for a win to keep their place in the top 6, and it's going to be a great battle at both ends of the court. Both teams have tall and experienced goal shooters in Erin Hartbright and Mel McClellan, and they're really supported by quick, calm and accurate GAs, Emma Pargeter, coach of Howlong, and the young Sophia Colhagen from Roundwell Bundry. And they will have to be at their best as both teams have defenders that will put a lot of pressure on them. So, yeah, I think Howlong might win this one, but Roundwell Bundry won't go down without a big fight.
All right. Well, that's where we will leave it today. Should be an interesting round of matches. Anything else before we wrap up?
Oh, I just wanted to correct myself after last time we spoke when I said Osborne had one of the biggest scores for the Hume League.
Oh, yes, from last week, yes, yep.
Yes, but the young girls from Billabong Crows in the 17-store team, they scored a massive 108 goals that week. So
wow.
Effort for those girls. So, yep, I'll just have to eat my words.
Well,
the Osborne goals, 90 goals is amazing, but 108, that's a great job.
That is a massive score in any game of netball, let alone a junior game. So
I know, yeah.
Well done to those Crows girls, and good luck to everyone hitting the courts in Hume Netball this weekend. Carla, enjoy your weekend.
Yes, I will. Thanks, Jason.